This is legit high.
I'm scared.
Me too, but I'm done letting fear stop me from living.
She just finished chemo a couple weeks ago.
I'm not sure Ella's ready for school tomorrow.
Carl, we discussed this.
And the Santa Ana winds are blowing.
I didn't catch cancer from the wind, so I'm guessing it's not gonna bring it back. Ella, come on. I finally get to be a regular teenage girl, staying up all night, eating candy, drinking soda.
And I didn't hear any of that.
All your adventurousness has really rubbed off on me.
Whoa.
That is a side effect of my friendship. Today I'm alive. And I don't plan on shying away from anything. Forget yesterday. I want to make some new memories.
Don't hit me with any of that meditation junk.
Hey, that junk works.
I gotta be on my own.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cherry the Geek TV. I'm Joe Vanourney. Life by Ella is a new show premiering exclusively on Apple TV Plus on Friday, September 2nd. And today we are joined by the writers, showrunners, and executive producers of Life by Ella. It's Jeff Hodsden and Tim Pollock. Jeff and Tim, welcome to Cherry the Geek TV.
Thank you for having us. Nice to meet you.
I was wondering if you could start by talking about the genesis for Life by Ella. Where did the idea come from? Is this based on a book? Is it an original idea? What's the story and what was the genesis?
It is an original idea that, Jeff and I think sadly this is probably true for everyone out there, but, cancer is prevalent and has, touched friends and family of ours. And so, a couple people who we know had sort of gone through an experience with cancer and sort of come out the other side, sort of changed people and sort of made better for the experience, as terrible as it was. And that was sort of inspiring to us. And we sort of realized, wait a second, we might be onto something here. Maybe there's a way to sort of dramatize that. And, coming across this character of Ella and sort of placing that sort of growth or trial by fire from her experience with cancer, but in the teenage, middle school world where everyone around her is sort of ruled by insecurity and fear. I certainly was. I'm a grown writer, so I'm still ruled by insecurity and fear. But putting her, sort of this new fearless attitude she has, surrounded by people who are terrified of everything and what are they thinking of me and am I saying the wrong thing, just felt like an interesting setting for a show.
Let's talk about your amazing cast. Lily Brooks O'Brien plays Ella. What did you like about her and what does she bring to the character?
The great thing about Lily is there's really nothing that you cannot love about her. She's this amazing magnetic personality. And when we first auditioned her too, like she had this ability to, exude this positivity, but also there's something inside of her that she was hiding, in there. And then I think that just really played into the character of Ella. And, the great thing about the Ella character is finding that positivity with something so negative. And that's just Lily Brooks. She shows up on set, she's bright and she's so smiley and happy. And then just on a dime, she could hit the dramatic scenes and just make you want to cry and go hide in your bed, for a long time. But the other thing about her is her professionalism on the set and how much she loved this character and how much work she put into it. I think she's done stuff with St. Jude and all this stuff before, like she's an ambassador for them. So she really knows this character. So when she'd show up on set, everyone knew how hard she was working and everyone worked harder just for her, knowing how much she cared about this and how much she brought to the role.
We have Ardian Celestine, who plays her best friend Kai, who's stood by her side when she was sick. He's kind of her true emotional support, and he's the somewhat comic relief of the show as well, I guess. He's a little awkward at times, even though he's cool, but he's a little awkward. What does talk about him and what he brings to the role?
Artian is so impressive because, Kai, as you say, he's sort of the antithesis of Ella, who's now fearless. Kai is very fearful and ruled by his insecurities and sort of very caught up in his own head. Well, what's great about Artian, and he blew us away when he auditioned, but he is so not that kid. He is a football player. He is an amazing dancer. He is just super cool. And so his range as an actor is so impressive because we totally believe him as Kai, and he did an amazing job sort of bringing Kai to life. But once the director would yell cut, Artyom, like, I'm jealous. I want to be that cool when I grow up, So he's just, he's funny, he's sweet, but he's not Kai at all in real life. That's what was sort of shocking to us.
Talk a little bit about Kevin Rahm and Mary Faber, who played the parents. The Ella's relationship with them, they're kind of protective. While she wants to go live life, they're still kind of falling on more of that protective side.
Amazing job bringing both those characters to life. I mean, and those both sort of came from our research. With Carl, the dad, we sort of discovered from doing a lot of the research that a lot of parents, like, it becomes a control thing. Like, you're sort of, as a parent, like, your instinct is to help and to be there for your child. But in an experience like cancer, there's not all that much you can do other than support. And so I think, it felt true to us. Jeff and I are both fathers, that you want to be there and you want to help, but you sort of don't have that much control, and that could sort of drive you crazy. So I think Carl now, as Ella's re-entering the world, is still yearning for that control, and what can he do to sort of keep the cancer away, and what can we make sure that and Ella sort of that sort of butts up against Ella's, like, I'm not going to let that rule me anymore. Whereas he wants to he's obsessed about it. So that was sort of, interesting for us to sort of come across that from the research. And Kevin, who is also a dad, I think it just clicked with him, and he did such an amazing job bringing that character to life and sort of inhabiting that role. And Mary, who was struggling as the parent who had, again, from the research, one parent usually has to be the breadwinner, and obviously medical bills pile up very quickly, but being detached from the experience can play sort of, tricks with the mind and sort of create emotional havoc. And so I think Mary,
she's got that guilt feeling, and it's like, and now that her daughter's back, trying to recreate this relationship that she doesn't have anymore. And so but Mary she rocked it. It's a very challenging role, and she really rocked it.
We see in the first episode, Ella's readjusting to school, trying to re-enter society. That's kind of the plot of the first episode. Where do we go from there? What can you tease about the course of the series over the first season? What can we expect? Is there a character arc? Is there a story arc? Without giving things away.
Ella continues on this struggle of, like, when you come out of this, she has this positive attitude and she wants to share it with the world. But unfortunately, the rest of the world, like we're saying, with these other characters and everyone around her life, they're not ready for this. So this whole journey across the season is her trying to exude this confidence that everyone should have, or this new positive outlook she has on life. And it's much more challenging than she's thought. And even for herself, there's times like she thinks she's ready to embrace this whole new mantra on life, but there's reality, there's stresses in life, there's things that come back to her that haunt her yet. So she's got to get through some of these demons yet to get to that point.
Well, we are sadly almost out of time. Before I wrap up, I want to ask you one last question. What is your hope? What do you hope audiences take away from this series?
I mean, I think our hope is just that, a little piece of Ella's sort of perspective, and that we all have, these moments where we, of life that we could appreciate more. I know I certainly could. And I think, well, not all of us have gone through what Ella has. We all just experienced a pandemic. We all have things that have sort of made us who we are. And I think we can let them empower us. And I think that's what I'm taking from my experience with Ella and the show, is just that, we just appreciating life a little bit more.
Maybe laugh a little bit along the way.
Well, I look forward to catching the rest of Ella's journey. The show is called Life by Ella, and all episodes will drop exclusively on Apple TV Plus Friday, September 2nd. Jeff and Tim, thank you again so much for joining us today on Share the Geek TV.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.